My name is Yasemin Gokcen. I'm a PhD student at UC Merced in the Cognitive and Information Sciences Department, and I primarily work with Dr. Dave Knoll and Dr. Rachel Riskin. My research is mostly sitting at the intersection of neuroscience, linguistics, and artificial intelligence, or AI. And at the center of it is a question that sounds pretty simple, but turns out to be surprisingly deep, which is how does the human brain understand language in real time? Take this sentence, for instance, the keys the man carries. Before you even hear the end of it, your brain is already making guesses. Keys that are doing or are what. Maybe they open something or are rusty. And that intuition, that automatic sense of what's coming next is called prediction. You're not thinking about what the man is doing, you're thinking about the keys. And it's something your brain is doing constantly without any conscious effort. And what I'm interested in is the kind of machinery behind it. What does, or how does your brain pull all that off word by word in real time? To predict well, your brain needs to hold on to earlier words in memory. But not every word is worth holding on to equally. The keys are critical, you will need that later, but the stuff about the man, much less so. Research on the brain's prefrontal cortex suggests it acts a lot like a selective gatekeeper, deciding what gets stored in working memory and what gets filtered out. We call this process gating, and it's the central mechanism that I'm studying. To measure gating computationally, I compared two AI language models, one that has this gating architecture called an LSTM, and one that does not have this, called an RNN. Before I show you what I found, a quick definition. For each model, they are basically saying how much this word is predictable. We're measuring the word surprisal, which is the score for how unexpected a word is, given everything that came before or the preceding context. A word that fits neatly into the sentence gets a low surprisal score, something like relating to the keys. But a word that catches you off definitely would get a higher one, something that might be about the man. Now, most of the time, the models agree on these two scores, but on words like carries, where you have to kind of reach back and remember keys from several words earlier, the gated model does noticeably better. I call that gap the gating utility metric. The key insight is that gating matters most exactly when memory is being stretched, on the hard words, not the easy ones. Finally, I'm testing whether this gating signal shows up in actual human brain activity. I recorded EEG from 32 participants while they listened to naturalistic stories, not lab sentences, but real continuous speech. What you're seeing here is the average brain response after each word. The red line represents high surprisal words, the unexpected ones, and you can see it dips sharply in this kind of like 300 to 500-ish millisecond window, and that's a well-known marker of prediction difficulty. My research is asking whether the gating score produces a separate, later signal on top of that, and my early findings show that it does. So, to sum it up, the brain doesn't just passively receive language, it's actively predicting it. It's using selective memory to decide what it's holding onto and what's worth holding onto. I'm building the computational and neural evidence to show how that works. If any of this caught your interest, come find me at my poster, and I'd love to walk you through the full story. Thank you very much.